Hi, I'm Tiffany, and this happened about 10 years ago. My sister and I, on this particular night, we decided to go for a walk downstairs. So the time was probably past 10 p.m. and we walked to the back of my estate. So there's this open area where a lot of kids go to play. And this space also happens to be the designated burning area for Chinese Buddhists to burn offerings for their departed loved ones. So there are a few of those burning bins at that area. So on that night, my sister, she was standing in front of those bins and then I was across her, and we decided to play netball. So we were passing the ball to and fro. And this time that I threw the ball towards her, she didn't catch it, and it started bouncing behind her and rolling towards one of those bins. So at that moment, both of us just froze and we were like bracing ourselves because, I mean, firstly, we felt like we were disrespecting the people who use those bins, you know, because I mean, I guess those bins mean a lot to them. They burn offerings for their loved ones, you know, so it's like kind of disrespectful towards their religion. And secondly, we were really afraid of the loud noise it was going to make, because we were so afraid that it would make a loud noise and then neighbors will complain or something. So I was just like, I didn't want to look. Like, I knew there was going to be a loud bang coming up, so I just covered my ears and then looked away. It was a few seconds, and then I looked at my sister and she was just looking at me, and the ball was rolling back towards her. And the look she gave me was like, her eyes were so big, and then she had that like, is this some kind of joke, that kind of face, you know. She just said that the ball actually rolled towards the bin. It didn't hit the bin and started rolling back towards her. So at that point, she just picked up the ball and she was like, okay, let's go home. And then we walked home. We didn't talk about it at all on the long walk home. Yeah, that was it. Nothing much happened to us after that, thankfully. Yeah, so I guess you shouldn't play near those areas, you know.
Hi, my name is Wesley, and when I was 16, I was in secondary 4. I was studying design and technology, or known as D&T. Our classroom was actually at a very isolated part of the school. It was in the corner and it was separated from like the rest of the student body. So we were pretty much on our own. And in our classroom, there was a toilet at the back, which means we had to go out of the classroom. There was an L-shaped corridor. And the female toilet was at the end of the L, and the male toilet was at the corner of this L, so it was like this. And when we went for our toilet breaks, we actually tend to go together because the corridors and the toilets, they always, like, you know, there's no light. There's always no light. So what happens is the males will go first and we come out, then we let the females go into the toilet, the female toilet, and we'll wait for them outside because, I mean, they also feel quite scared lah. And one by one, they all went back to the classroom first, except me. I was waiting for my female friend. I kept asking her, hey, are you done? Because I've been waiting for like the past 10 minutes. And she said, yeah, I'm almost done, I'm coming out right now. So I waited and waited for another 10 minutes. And I told her straight, hey, if you're going to take longer, I'm just going to go back to class first. I got more work to do. And she said, okay, I'm coming out soon. You go back first. Yeah, so I did. So I went back to the classroom, and she was sitting in the classroom. The rest of my classmates, including my teacher, could verify that she was still in the class for the past 20 minutes, that I have been missing for the past 20 minutes. They thought I went to like take a dump, but I wasn't. I was waiting for her. So that's the weird part, because who have I been talking to in the toilet then? So what we did was we all grouped together and went back into the female toilet to check, you know, who was there and everything. And because it was pretty much just us, and for anyone to come out to go back to the main part of the school, they have to walk past our classroom, but there was nobody at all. So yeah, that was my first encounter with the paranormal.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah, and this happened to me during my national service in the army. So it was the last night of field camp where my buddy, my sergeant, and I were having a chat where our platoon was. And the last night, everyone was sleeping in what we call cowboy style, whereby we put the basha sheet on the ground, on the grass, because yeah, who bothers to even set up a tent on the last day of field camp, right? So we were just happily chatting, drinking water, laughing, and obviously the time came when I needed to use the bathroom. But obviously there's no bathroom in the field, right? So there's this area called the latrine area where, you know, they just dig a hole in the ground. But it's like 500 meters away. And where got time, to walk 500 meters? So, being a lazy guy, I just walked to the nearest tree to do my business. So yeah, I walked over there, did my business, and then came back. Continued chatting with my sergeant and my buddy, right? Actually, that guy is not really my buddy, he's like a platoon mate. But anyway, so me and my friend, we just like, okay, it's time to sleep. So we slept, and my sergeant went back to wherever the sergeant sleep, right? Who knows? So we slept, and then, you know, out in the jungle, when you're so tired, you sleep like a baby. And then the next thing I knew, I felt this really strange feeling in my head, whereby I can't really explain it. It's like you're dizzy and you're drunk, but you're not really drunk, you're not intoxicated, but it's just like your brain is all fuzzy, and I don't know, I was just high. I don't know, it just felt I was high. And anyway, so I felt that feeling and I opened my eyes, you know, I was just like, oh, what's happening? And then the next thing I knew, I wasn't at the place I slept. I was at a totally different place. So I was like, oh, what? And the first thing, as every good soldier would do, was to check if my rifle was beside me. Oh yeah, weirdly enough, my rifle was beside me. And also, a torchlight was sling on my wrist. And I was like, oh, where was I? And I looked around using my torchlight. And because, you know, we identify ourselves with color tags, different color tape. So I noticed that, oh, I was at the platoon 3 area. I was in platoon 1. So if you can imagine the whole field campsite, platoon 1 was all the way at the edge. And I woke up like in the middle, like directly middle of the field campsite. So I got my bearings. I looked at, okay, where are the commanders? Where's the road and all that? Okay, I have to go that way. And I walked all the way around the perimeter back to where my platoon was. And I woke up my friend. I was like, hey, bro. And he was like, what? I said, bro, you won't believe it. I just woke up in the middle of the field campsite. What the hell is happening? And this guy, he don't even give a shh. He was like, hey, go back to sleep lah. And he went to sleep. I swear to God, that is the weirdest thing that ever happened to me. Okay, there was another weird thing that happened to me, but that's a story for another time. So I thought to myself, must be about that business I did at the tree, without saying sorry. So after that, whenever I did any business at a tree, even not in Pulau Tekong, I always say sorry.